they're like, hey, I'm really nervous. I like to pee myself.
Yeah.
Whatever. And people are accepting of that. I think that's beautiful.
It's at the expense of others who are not trying to smell pee, get wet, get pee on them.
They don't have their consent.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's f***ed up.
Yes,
You're
100%.
using it's non-consensual, yeah. Your wife's family.
Yeah, people are really agreeing on that. You're the asshole. Hoo boy, this is not where I thought any of this would go. You've got kinks, you've got angry family members, you've got a gay wedding, you've got piss, you've got it all.
Yeah.
Someone said, what if the husband is the one who wrote this post in order to get more humiliation in the comments? What if
we're cheating him?
We're a part of the problem!
We have been exposed to the king.
The camera! The camera!
She turns around, he's just like this. He's like,
Please. Abby. Please stop, okay? I'm really worried about this guy. I think this guy has a gambling problem or something. There's something underneath the issue.
I want ice cream. I blew all our money in Vegas last week.
Oh,
we have nothing.
My God.
We have nothing.
Listen, I have a huge porn addiction and we're in the red. We have nothing left except for this chicken sandwich. Something's going on.
I love FanDuel.
Off.
My Paul Wade didn't hit.
Fuck.
We have nothing.
Hey, I use our kids' college fund on FanDuel.
I bet 50K on red.
You're killing me.
Please.
Okay.
You have to finish the story.
So he says, ice cream, I want chocolate. I was mortified. I f***ed up by thinking my son was having gay sex when he was just eating hummus.
To be fair.
So I've never had gay sex, but I've had hummus. So I, a 39-year-old woman, have a son who's 15, and he brought a friend round today. They immediately went to their room, and I assumed they would just play some video games or whatever, so I was totally fine leaving them. It was about 30 minutes in when I was walking past, I heard sounds such as, oh my God, that's so good, and it's so good with that in it, and various sounds.
Let's see how chill
There's
the mom
no
was.
other way to eat hummus. It really sounded like they were having gay sex. I was super weirded out by it.
It's just sex.
So I quickly went downstairs and waited for his friend to leave. When this friend left an hour or two later, I asked my son what they were doing in his room. Because although I don't mind him being gay, and I think it's and I know it's normal for teenagers to have sex, a condom really should have been used, so I plan to confront him about that. However, the answer shocked me to my very core. They weren't having sex, they were eating hummus. I was shocked and initially didn't believe it. We had never had hummus before, and I asked him to
Does this overlap with a girl that doesn't eat spicy food?
We had never had hummus before, and I asked him to show me the hummus if this was true.
Show me
the hummus! So he did, and I ate hummus for the first time, and oh my God, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good?
No. So he did, and I ate hummus for the first time, and oh my God, was it good.
What?
Where does it rank compared to gay
We
sex?
experiment.
What if they had hummus and then
So guys, I want to remind you that this is also Best of Redditor updates.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I don't know what's going on.
Can I point? I wonder if so she thought they're having gay sex, and then the friend no, it was gay sex. So the friend walked out of the room, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, how are you? And he's like, oh, I'm stuffed. All right.
things people say after sex. Whoa. Oh, man.
I am so sexed. Comments were, oh, I see you got hit by the emergency hummus.
No, hummus.
Were you guys having sex? I always kept open hummus inside my closet for when I was having sex with my friends. You never know when you might get caught. Lady for real just fell for the old hummus trick.
See the oldest trick in the book.
Okay, here's the update.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Here we
It was a
Here
tumor.
we go.
So yeah, the majority of you were right. They were having sex.
Yes, let's go.
Good for him.
No, not sex. Let's say it all together.
Hummus.
She said she understood and for some reason thought it was necessary to mention that my dad was one of their regular customers.
Are we surprised?
She made it clear for the record that she never had sex with my dad, but explained that some of her older coworkers at the escort service really enjoyed spending time with him. She said she can't wait to tell the other sex workers that she met me because apparently my dad loves to talk about his son with the people he pays to I was not psychologically prepared for the unexpected discussion regarding my dad's sex life. The girl had a severe case of motor mouth. When she finally stopped talking, I learned that my dad sleeps with sex workers who kind of look like my mom, and that women closing their eyes with too much food in their mouth and saying, turns him on. You'd think at some point he'd have been like, you know what, we should stop. We don't need to talk anymore. That is so specific. The girl apologized for abusing my good listening skills and asked if there was nothing she could do for me. I said she could keep my sexuality between the two of us. She said her lips were sealed until the time comes to suck
Me.
My dad was passed out in the living room when we approached the front door. I went back to the bed when the girl was gone and eventually fell asleep. The following morning, I confronted my dad. I said I didn't appreciate what he did and made sure he understood that he wasted his money because nothing happened. My dad was apologetic and promised never to cross that line again, no matter how much alcohol was involved. Despite his apology, the mood was still somewhat tense. I decided to break the tension by closing my eyes and saying, while eating breakfast. The look on my dad's face was priceless. I lost my appetite soon afterwards because I instantly regretted doing something that might arouse my father. Oh my God. That
layers.
was crazy. The comments here, the only thing I'm confused about is if you are actually gay and decided to just admit it, or if you lied about it because of how awkward the situation was. No offense intended, mind you, just curious. I was being honest about my sexuality. I never planned to share that information with the sex worker, but I panicked and acted without really thinking. Strange enough, when she offered to play with my butt, I did get a little turned on, which is kind of confusing because I've never been sexually attracted to the opposite sex. If I learned anything from this experience, it's that I should probably stop focusing on labels.
And start playing with his butt.
Yeah, you know? Let someone motorboat your butt. This kid is a serious comedian. The delivery is just spot on. I'm giggling like an idiot 15 minutes later. Someone else said, don't know if you're a top or bottom. Let's find out. It's rare to find a professional who still has enthusiasm for the craft. Horror stories.
Oh no, they're always
It's like
so
it's scary
bad.
campaigns you can play with your friends.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish.
Okay. DM kills my character for no reason. This story happened a couple of years ago. Basically, it was me and I think 3 or 4 other friends. Typically, I would DM, and after my campaign fizzled out for whatever reason, one of my players wanted to try DMing. I helped him set up a campaign. The time comes for him to start DMing the campaign I helped him build. I think we started at level 1 or 2. I was playing a tiefling bard. The other players were, I think, a druid, a barbarian, and an artificer. After a couple of sessions, it was going pretty smooth. We were having a good time. At one point, I had to miss a session, but was cool with them continuing without me. The next session, I was there and I joined back with the party before we went into a dungeon. We went into the dungeon and we were going through it like normal, just some puzzles. But before our first combat, the DM decided to tell me that since I was rusty after missing a session, I had disadvantage on every roll in combat. That annoyed me, but I just went with it. I had taken some damage, but figured I'd be fine because I usually play backline support. Eventually, we approach a big door, and I decide to enter the room and suddenly get attacked by a big bird, and it takes me down to 1 hit point. The rest of the party makes their way in to try to help me, but DM decides that despite my teammates wanting to protect me and attacking the bird, the DM decides that the bird continues to attack me, obviously downing me. I'm a little baffled at that decision, but it's whatever. So I just start rolling my saving throws on my turn, but DM says the bird continues to attack me because it hates you. So it hits me again. And I don't know if this is a real rule, but he said that it's an automatic 2 failed death saves. I had
That's true, but
Is that? Oh, that's real.
George is like, I support the DM.
if you get hit in melee and you're making your death saves, it's 2 failed death saves. But
I had succeeded my first death save, and I succeeded the next one after the attack. So I was hoping to hold out for one more round to survive, but for some reason, this bird takes a legendary action. Despite this not even being a boss, not meaning to be a tough encounter, just a creature in a dungeon.
This is the SpongeBob. I don't know. I guess he just doesn't like you.
And it kills me. For this, I would hope, understandably, pisses me off. And because there is no reason a DM should fish for a kill like that, I was just stuck spectating afterward and sat there for upward of an hour. After that session, I was barely invested in my character or the
Played a
story.
visual novel.
You could read a visual novel.
You can play 4 of my girlfriend's visual novels.
After that session, I was barely invested in my character or the story because the DM set the precedent that he could just kill me out of the blue and remove my story from the rest of the campaign. I think the campaign ended fine, but I just had 0 agency for the rest of the campaign.
George,
Oh
can
my
I
God.
ask a question?
hates you is so crazy.
How would you justify a bird in a dungeon?
A great question.
It's like maybe it's like a
It's a
kiwi
flight bird.
Yeah, like a floor dwelling bird.
a floor dwelling bird. So like an ostrich.
Yeah.
Oh,
I couldn't think of the
jeez.
word non-flying bird.
Flightless.
Flightless bird. Yes.
Without flight. I don't know. Maybe eggs that don't like the sun.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
good.
That's the best thing I can think of.
There's like burrowing owls. It could be a giant burrowing
an
owl.
owl bear would be a perfect example
Yeah.
of a cave-dwelling bird creature.
So maybe there was setup in the guy just didn't clock it.
The funny thing is about that story is that it's all kind of fair game, except for the first thing, which is insane, where you're just like, you're rusty as a heroic adventurer. Disadvantage if people don't know. If you have disadvantage on every roll, you're not going to do anything. It's not going to be a fun game. There's a reason that you only have disadvantage a little bit of the time. So
Yeah.
that's basically the DM giving away the game there of like, you're not going to be able to have fun today.
There's no official rules in D&D of if you miss a session, your character now sucks.
Goodness gracious, no. The "it hates you" is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. Could the DM have done everything they did there? Technically, yeah.
Technically,
If they hate someone, yeah, that sounds.
So, so that one is not for legit, and then so it takes a legendary action.
That is a thing too. Technically, they use the full might of the DM's toolbox to be a dick.
kill him.
funny.
Now, I guess,
Technically, they've broken no rules except for that disadvantage nonsense. But
so overall, fair game, but is. Do you think this person? Because the verdict on this one on D&D Horror Stories is it a bad DM or not?
is it a bad DM or not?
And like it's fair game, but it's shitty
out
DMing.
the gate, the horse,
To me, it's so funny that I can't be mad at this DM. Where it's like, well, you're not feeling good, so like everything sucks. It's like, and also this thing hates you. Like that's really funny.
This
Yeah.
bird that just saw you hates you.
What if that was?
Sickly.
At least for
using
some of
sickly.
those weeks while he was doing a reality show on an island somewhere
Yeah.
with a bunch of hot
F-boy
people,
island.
he was getting paid
I
for the
haven't seen
work
the
that he
show. Is it
wasn't
all?
doing.
Is it all dudes just hanging out? Is it like this?
It's three.
Are we on F-boy Island right now?
We're what F-boy Island looks like. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
That was great. Am I the asshole for suggesting my 7-year-old name his new stuffed tiger Tig Bitties? Pretty much the title. My son won a stuffed tiger at the fair last night, and he said he had named him Tig. He asked me what its last name should be. I couldn't help myself and just instantly replied, Bitties. Then I turned to my wife to share a smirk, but she was pissed.
Of course, it's a
The
guy.
old ball and chain.
But she was pissed and quickly suggested a few different names. But my son insisted that he liked Bitties. So now his tiger is Tig Bitties. My wife thinks it was completely inappropriate. I think it was a silly joke that went over his head and will have no negative ramifications.
Famous
You know,
last word.
I think we're the wrong
Yeah,
audience.
we're all
We're
like,
100.
damn,
That's
great.
brilliant. Yeah, we're not the right audience to answer this question.
Like, man,
so
that's
you,
awesome.
You think it would be okay, like, with if you had a kid or nieces or nephews to like
No, it's
well,
your
like
kid.
if it's an inappropriate joke that goes over their head, is
Yeah.
it okay?
Well, it's like that kid that says "fire."
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Well,
you know
so-
what he's saying.
Or it's like the
but-
kid who asks to see the cats, and he goes in the people's house. He's like, "Let me see your titties."
I want to see a titties. My brother wouldn't be able to say truck, and he would say
Yeah.
and my grandma would so often be like, "Oh, Brian, what's that?" Like, she was stoked about it.
I mean, what are kids for if not to like make us laugh?
They're just for entertainment,
Right,
right? They're just to be just jokes.
Not
I
the
would say,
asshole.
I would argue if it's not appropriate to make jokes that go over kids' heads, then Shrek is a f***ed up movie because that has so much that goes over kids' heads.
I think you would just go insane if you weren't allowed to like,
Yeah.
you know, like toy with your kids a little bit.
I guess the fear is if he has a stuffed tiger that he loves that's named Tig Bitties.
Yeah.
I feel the issue that's going to come up is his friends and other parents are going to find that out. But Tig Bitties is really not like
He's not going around
horrible.
saying I love Tig Bitties to like all
He
his,
probably is
like-
telling no. He's probably telling people he loves Tig
probably
Bitties.
telling
Yeah. Well, you know.
Hey, teacher, I gotta be honest with you. I really love Tig Bitties. I f***ing love Tig Bitties. Hey, don't say Tig Bitties. The verdict on Reddit was that he's not the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go,
but
boys.
Reddit's gonna side
The verdict: divorce.
the verdict, you gotta get divorced because she's lame. This one is from Off My Chest. I made my
Let's go make a Tig Bitties joke.
Get these Tig
so
Bitties
to off my
off
chest, I named my tiger. So to off my chest, I named my tiger Big Titties. Okay. I just said Big Titties.
Oh.